Hey, hi there guys. Sorry for our delay. It's Hot Mess Mama and Melissa joining you today for another wine pairing. Today's last wine pairing that we did was not last week but 2 weeks ago, and we were tasting breakfast cereals with wines, and that was really good. Like, I'm still thinking about the port and the Cinnamon Toast Crunch. That was a good one.
That was good.
That was probably one of my favorite of our wine pairings. But here it is, mom bun up, ready to, it's hot. Like, I don't know when else, oh Lord, here we go, they're coming in next. Okay, we're drinking.
Hello, Austin.
Hello, Austin.
Small nosebleed.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We have a small nosebleed, but Dr. Daddy's on
Here,
the
Andrew.
case.
Austin,
Let's
come
go to the
here.
bathroom.
You gotta pinch it.
Was this a natural nosebleed or a got punched in the face nosebleed?
No, the tennis ball.
Oh.
Tennis ball can be on the head.
You're gonna live.
Hit him on the head.
Oh, you're gonna live, honey.
Knocked off my head. Then
It rolled off.
a tennis ball hit me straight into
How did that
the
happen?
you.
All right,
You're
let's go
okay,
wash
buddy.
it
What week would be complete without
Without
a
a
bloody
nose
nose?
from a tennis ball.
Mhm.
Still intact.
So,
off. Cold water on it.
I'm afraid to touch the camera because every time I do, it tells me I can't do that. But I'm going to do that just so we can get Melissa in frame. So, Melissa did that last wine tasting with us where we did cereal, and my favorite of those was the port and the Cinnamon Toast Crunch. But we did a lot of also like other cool wines with like Lucky Charms and what else did we do? Lucky Charms and like Cocoa
Is it
Puffs
still
or something.
dripping?
Something.
Yeah.
She's such a good mom. I'm good like, yeah, it's bleeding. Whatever. But this week I think like in honor of the fact that we are entering the summer season, thought that we would do, and kids, hot dogs. We live off of hot dogs and macaroni and cheese and chicken nuggets,
Yeah.
pretty much. We're entering the summer season, and it is time for us to start grilling and chilling, which means there's going to be lots of hot dogs and hamburgers and screaming children. So we were going to pair tonight, and I know it's kind of strange. You're thinking, like, why would you pair wine with a hot dog? Well, in my book, you can pair wine with just about anything, right? Now, I can't think of a thing you can't pair wine with, but if you guys have a challenge for me, I will take it on. I will take on your challenge of pairing wine with anything. So, screaming children on a trampoline in the heat while moms are supposed to be wine tasting. But I'm alone right now, so cheers to me. Happy Friday. We survived, but we do have bloody noses and such. Who's joining me? Elise. How are you, Elise? How are the kids? Did you have a good day? I had a really interesting day at the Chick-fil-A. If you saw my post about my kid throwing silverware all over the place. I'm surprised Chick-fil-A hasn't thrown me out yet. And now my husband is in charge of five kids, and let's just say he's failing miserably. I love him to death, but like failing miserably watching these 5 kids. He's just one. I love you. I love you. Thank you for taking on the challenge, but kids are screaming, kids tossing stuff everywhere, and he's just like kind of walking around. I looked at him one point and I dropped the F-bomb on him and said, would you please effing take care of this? The wine will make it all better. So what are you saying now, Miss Lise? Hey, hello, my friend. So yes, I had my Chick-fil-A fiasco. Her son just got a bloody nose.
And my daughter.
And your daughter has a bloody nose too?
Yeah.
I'm like, how does that happen?
She was offended that she got pushed off the trampoline. I checked her. She's intact.
Playground dramatics.
Mm-hmm.
There's some drama and there's some turf wars going on the trampoline, apparently.
Yeah.
So I digress. We are going to be tasting hot dogs tonight with some wines. And like I said, I saw this like funny like tweet or something that was talking about this waitress she was serving hot dogs or whatever, and some patron asked her, so what wine do you recommend with the hot dogs? And she's like, really? What wine do you want with a hot dog? Like, where do you think you are? But I was telling them, Melissa, I am a full believer that you can pair wine with anything. And I'm up for the challenge. So if you've got something free that you think can't be paired with wine, I would be up for the challenge. But tonight, doing some research. Now, there's all sorts of different styles of hot dogs, right? Tonight we're going to be doing the New York style hot dog as well as the like chili dog. Now there's a million other styles. There's like a Hawaiian dog, there's the Chicago hot dog, there's all sorts of different hot dogs. But like for simplicity's sake, I was thinking we need to, if I don't kill a child, I'm going to kill my dog. for simplicity's sake, we gotta have things that are in our pantry and our cabinets, right? Like everybody has hot dogs either in their fridge or in their freezer. Hot dog buns, like in a pinch, get a piece of bread, wrap it around, right? But I thought it was interesting. We were talking about so first we were talking about how do you make your dogs, and then we were talking about how do you serve your dogs, right? So how do you make your dogs? Do you grill? Do you microwave? Do you boil? And is there a real? Do you taste a difference? Like some people even deep fry their hot dogs. But so the first dog that we are going to taste, now we're supposed to be tasting this New York style hot dog, which a New York style hot dog is just a dog with sauerkraut and mustard. I'm from Chicago and spent a lot of time in Wisconsin. Now we always do mustard and sauerkraut on our brats.
Yeah.
That's like a no-brainer when you're from Wisconsin. But I can honestly say I don't think I've ever had a New York style hot dog. I've never had excuse me while I kill my dog. I have never had a New York style hot dog. I've had a brat, but not a hot dog. So this is going to be a new one for me. Have you had a New York style brat? Okay.
No.
So she splits her hot
Explain.
dogs. Look at that. She splits her hot dogs.
It's to cool it for kids.
Is it to
They're
cool it
always
for
like,
kids?
I'm hungry, I'm hungry, I'm hungry.
I'm just like, blow on it.
Yeah.
So
I'm just gentle.
I'm not, the sauerkraut is not warmed, but like when we do our brats up, north in Wisconsin or whatever, we saute it with like ketchup and brown sugar and butter. Remember we did that at my house? Yeah.
Yeah, but we never did that at the what do you call that? The
Brat house?
The
Tailgate?
terrace.
Oh, the terrace.
When they just had cold sauerkraut.
Yeah, well, normally you're supposed to fry up the sauerkraut when you do it with brats. Now, I've never gone just full on sauerkraut on a dog, and then they just put mustard on it, and that's supposed to be a New York style hot dog. And we're gonna taste that with this rosé, which apparently is the sweetness of rosé is supposed to cut the acidity of the sauerkraut.
Which did you tell them that
What?
your son thought that?
Oh, this is hilarious. So we opened up a can of sauerkraut and we poured it in a bowl so that we could, eat it here. And our kids are walking around going, her daughter's name is Charlotte. Charlotte has a poopy and it's really stinky. And then they come to me and Mommy, Zana has a poopy and it's really stinky. And she's like, they're not poopy. And then we realized, they smell the sauerkraut. Yeah, they smell the sauerkraut.
That was awesome.
So, yeah. So here we go. Ooh.
Excuse you.
Excuse me. Okay, so we're at the bottom of this. We're at the bottom. Then there are some people that are the only thing that you should be putting on a hot dog is mustard. I don't know. I'm a mustard, ketchup, relish kind of girl. What about you?
I don't mix mustard and ketchup, but I do relish and ketchup. But relish and mustard. I don't put ketchup and mustard together. It's my weird thing. I don't know.
Well, to each his own, but so we're gonna be trying our first now. And then there's the hot dogs. Do you get the all beef Franks? Do you get the koshers? Do you get the Nathans? Do you get the ones that are part chicken, part pork, part?
Now they have uncured.
And they have cured and uncured. I know,
So
what do you do, right? So there's that. So you go. So here I am, at the Walmart, trying to think about this, and I'm okay. There's a million different kinds of hot dogs here. There's the bargain ones that are 89 cents, but then you kind of think, what the heck is in it, right? And then there's the ones with casings, and then there's the organic ones, and then there's the name brand ones, and there's the generics, and there's the beef, and then there's the chicken pork ones. So
Just hot dogs.
Right. And then there's the ones that are short, and then there's the bun length. And we had this conversation about how we were saying it's some sort of conspiracy that when you buy a pack of hot dogs,
It is.
there is never the same amount of hot dogs in the pack as there are the amount of buns in the pack. So you always have to buy two.
More buns.
Right, you have to buy more buns for the hot dogs. So, that's a true fact, right? And so, but then, then there's the Red Hots. I can't say I think I've ever had a Red Hot.
My kids don't
Do they taste funny or is it just a
They
dye?
taste
What is
the
it?
same.
So then
I
what's
don't
the
know
whole,
what's in it.
what's the whole,
I don't know. I don't get
what's
it.
the benefit of a Red Hot?
I know my kids won't eat it though. If they have a Red Hot, no eating. Let's see here. It's quiet.
Somebody must be dead. It's too quiet. Oh. Mustard, sauerkraut, dog. I would tend to agree But the acidity and the kraut and the mustard needs a sweet thing like a rosé.
That's a little sharp.
Yeah.
That's good kraut though. It's not too. You know, sometimes kraut's very krauty.
Yeah, there's like a Bavarian style, and then there's like your traditional kraut. I took that of all the things I had to buy at the Walmart today. That was the hardest thing to find. Was sauerkraut.
I like that.
I like that, she said. I will tell you,
Excuse me.
this is and for all of my like wine friends out there, or like my friends that are wine distributors, I'm all about a really great, full-bodied, wonderful bottle of wine. But in a pinch, we go oak leaf, and it's like $2.96 at Walmart. $2.96 at Walmart. And I know that sounds sacrilegious, but you know what? In a pinch, and for something like this, like a rosé, which I don't think is like I don't think that it's rosés to me. I don't know if that's a stereotype, but I kind of think rosés are kind of at the lower end of the quality spectrum to begin with. You know, you're gonna want to have something that's got more age to it, like an oaky Chardonnay or a deep red, you know, Zinfandel or Merlot or something like that. But so then there was a question we got onto about: do you boil your hot dog? Do you grill your hot dog? Do you microwave your hot dog, or do you fry your hot dog? In some places, I can't remember where it was, they were saying that like they typically fry their hot dogs. I don't know, that just seems like a lot, right? It seems like a lot.
I like the crispy outside, but you can get that on the grill.
I would love to have grilled these, but we're moms. We don't have time for that. Like me. Excuse me, Molly. We got kids, and when the kids are hungry, they're hungry, and they want to eat right away. We don't have time to fire up the grill and wait for it to heat and then grill the hot dogs. We just poke some holes in it, throw it in the microwave, 45 seconds, and they're done, right? But truth be told, I would prefer a grilled charred hot dog. In Chicago, we have this place called the Wiener Circle, which is downtown Chicago, and it's like the place where everybody goes when they're drunk. It's called the Wiener Circle. Did you know about the Wiener Circle? Who's that, Elise?
How did this get here?
Grill, hands down. I know, hands down the grill. If there's time permitting. So the Wiener Circle, we go there in Chicago, and it's usually bar time when everyone's like drunk and like wanting to like shove something in their mouth. And the waitresses scream at, or not the waitress, but the counter people like literally scream at you. They're not nice at all. And you order your dog like charred or not charred, and they will literally like char and burn your hot dog for you. And they are dang tasty charred. If you've ever had a charred dog, that's awesome. So if you're ever in Chicago, you find yourself like wanting a hot dog in a big way, they serve them all day long. You'll just see the big crowds coming at after bar time. It's called the Wiener Circle. That's the stuff, right?
That sounds awesome.
I know, but
I
then
want to go there.
But then there's the Chicago style hot dog, which we talked about. It has 11 ingredients. It's like onions and relish and a pickle and sport peppers and a tomato and poppy seed and celery salt. There's 11 ingredients on that. 11 ingredients on a Chicago style hot dog. They're awesome. And I was like, oh, you know, maybe I can make one of those tonight. There's just way too many ingredients for me to get. But like if you were to go into a Portillo's, if all of you from the Midwest know about Portillo's, that's another hot dog joint that's like very family friendly. You can get Italian beef sandwiches and Portillo hot dogs. That's like kind of where you go when you're far from, the Wiener Circle. But now here in Greenville, we have a hot dog joint called Sup Dogs, S-U-P, Sup Dogs. And it's like one of the top 15 hot dog restaurants. She wants more. I want more too.
Okay. What do you think?
It's one of the top 15 restaurants, like there are hot dog places in I don't know, North Carolina, the States or something like that. And they have a huge hot dog menu. Huge. And again, it's this tiny little hole in the wall dive. And they've got a liquor license, so they serve alcohol, and they've got all these different kinds of flavors of hot dogs. And they serve it up, and I thought, oh, it would be really, really fun if I got those Sup Dogs tonight for this wine tasting. And then I realized that they're like $6 a hot dog.
But you go there for the alcohol.
You go there for the alcohol and the ambiance, right? Because it's kind of divey and it's right in the middle of our campus. Seriously?
It's like
Barking freaking dog.
cheap
I
barking
want
and
more.
soda.
I'm gonna drink a little bit heavier in a minute. Okay. So yeah, Sup Dogs. So do you have a favorite dog at Sup Dogs?
I
There's
mean,
so many.
I'm really about the drinks there. Like, to be totally honest. Like,
I didn't realize they had real on drinks. I thought it was just like beer.
no, they have the what did that? I don't know. If someone in Greenville is
If someone's in
tell
Greenville,
us what they call those. They're like the
Ryan Arnold, hey
like
Brian.
refreshers with like they're probably cheap vodka and like soda, but they taste so good the way they make them. I don't know. I mean,
I don't know either, but I will tell you this.
but I do like the Hawaiian. I think Hawaiian
Hawaiian is
is
one.
where it's at.
I think there's like pineapple on it or something. Ham
I
or
mean,
bacon
it's
or
good.
something.
Their buns are good though.
Do you steam your buns?
It's all about the buns, really.
Do you microwave your buns? Do you just like pull them out of the package and eat them kind of thing? I think there is something to be said about steaming the bun, but
Oh.
I didn't have time for that tonight.
Stop.
Now,
We have to stop.
Brian, you're from the Midwest. Portillo's, right? Portillo's. Wiener Circle. Am I missing anything? Here in North Carolina, we got Cubbies, but they don't really do hot dogs.
Isn't the ice cream place, the custard place? They have good hot dogs,
Like
right?
julienne custard or like
Um,
colonial or
I'm going way back.
We got ices.
It's like a blue and white building. I know what it looks like.
building.
Culver's.
Culver's, that's right. In the
Culver's.
Midwest, we have Culver's, and they make
It's okay.
homemade custard and dogs and like
Yeah,
butter
it's all about the
burgers.
hot dogs. Oh,
butter burgers with butter buns. They're just
Yeah.
like fantastic.
they
So,
are good.
so what's the verdict on this hot dog with the sauerkraut? Is it as good as a brat? Is brat the brat stop? Is it as good as a brat?
The hot dog? No, I now that I'm older, I like the brat style more, just because I like more flavor. What is
You
that?
can get like we beer broil our brats.
Yes, you have to beer
Then
and
onion
grill.
and grill. Right. So in the
With
Midwest,
onion.
you get your brats. This is really big in Wisconsin. These brat sausages, and you boil them in water and beer, and usually onions. And then when they're done, you throw them on the grill to char 'em. Beer boiling is the only
And my
way to
husband keeps the onions
and
and then
puts them on the.
and grill and fries them up. So they're beer boiled fried.
Oh my
onions.
gosh, that's the stuff.
Talk
Okay,
about a heart attack.
I know. That's all right. We'll take it. So I was watching this like culinary show last night. It was like Carnival Eats, and they went to this carnival and they were taste testing this. It's like, get a load of this. They take like a big dill pickle and they hollow it out so all the seeds come out, and then they shove a hot dog in it, and then they put a stick in it and they dip it in corn batter, you know, like corn dog batter, and they fry it. And so when you
That's
eat this,
ridiculous.
and then like drizzle ketchup and mustard on it. So when you eat it, you're like literally eating like a hot dog in a pickle. It's kind of like a
That's ridiculous.
Dunkin'. You know how they put like a chicken inside a turkey
We
inside
have
of
that
something?
every Thanksgiving.
chicken.
So good.
Okay.
A chicken.
I can't say that I've ever had a Dunkin'.
It's good. You should try.
Apparently I have not.
It's a southern thing, and they sell them here, and I get them on sale like 2 weeks before.
Oh, see, I didn't know that you could purchase them.
Harris Teeter.
The Teeter. The HT. So I just came from Disney the other day, and I said to myself, gosh, I really need a detox. I've been eating nothing but junk food and drinking a lot at night.
And now you're hot
And
dogs.
here it is, I've had one day, and now I'm like, I'm about to kill someone or something. And I'm already hitting this. And why is it that when I say, keep the kids outside, that you see 3 of the 5 of them in my kitchen?
Because we're hungry and thirsty.
Today's May crowning. They don't do anything at your school because they're not. Hi. Yeah, I kind of put a post out there. Today's May crowning,
Yeah.
and that's like a Catholic thing. And
Yeah,
they
it's
do that,
Sunday.
like they do it on, at the designated day in May to do the May crowning, and they basically honor Mother Mary, and like kids
Give
usually
flowers.
put flowers in front of the statue of Mary, and they crown her with a wreath of flowers.
It's a
And
good symbol.
it is a very good symbol. Mary's like very important to the Catholic faith, and she's like very much revered, and she's a role model for women. And we love her because she birthed Jesus and all of that. So they had their mass today at school, and I went to go see them, and I think that it's a beautiful tradition, and I
And I don't like it.
I'm looking forward to summer because I'm looking forward to not having to take our kids to school anymore. But I'm not looking forward to.
There are also 3 bites of a hot dog. I'm so hungry.
I'm so hungry. I had
This
2
is
bites.
our summer.
Go outside.
No. I'm hungry and cold.
At least the teachers
He's
don't have to
hungry and
yell
cold.
at our
It's
kids.
90 degrees
Hey,
outside.
I heard that.
You know that you're like on all sorts of people are watching you act like a brat. Okay then. All right, so we're moving on to
Sorry, I brought that up.
yeah. We are going to try hot dog number 2, which is tell them about hot dog number 2.
The chili
cheese.
Wait, not New York. Sorry.
No, I don't even really know what this
Yeah,
is.
I don't know what this is.
Is it? I don't know if it's like a
It's
Texas.
Chili cheese,
I'm thirsty.
onion.
Eat the last bowl.
This is like the typical
Chili cheese.
fair chili cheese dog. You know, like you get at the when they sell hot dogs at swim meets and all that. You know,
Yeah, but
chili
like
cheese dog.
I read something and I thought that they called it like a Texan.
Maybe.
Why are there 4 of the 5 children in my house right now?
Closing.
We want to kill. I don't. Yeah, when something like this happens, like I don't even want to like call the children.
I know it's hard.
Call the husband. Okay, so
It's hard.
show them how you properly dress. I've never had a fried hot dog either.
I can.
You want to dress
I'll
first?
dress first.
Okay,
Because there's some, you know, I figured the ketchup
The
will
ketchup is good.
blend with the chili.
I'm
So what do you
hungry.
start with first?
I think
Go
that
grab
we
a
should
hot dog.
start
There's
with
3.
chili.
Go get a hot dog. What's that? Wait, Jordan, no.
I'm hungry. Get me out.
Miss Susan will dress it. I will.
We're going outside right now. Okay. So did someone seriously? Ashley, thank you for joining. Do you have a husband for rent that could come over and actually act like a parent and watch these children? We have 5 kids that need to be babysat. I asked them to go outside and jump on the trampoline and go play outside with Daddy. 4 of the 5 children are back in my house.
Now you have 1 kid in the house.
Go outside.
Do you want mustard on it?
All right, so what else? We do chili. We do now. There's some people that do chili, onions,
All right, I'll bring it.
and mustard, right?
Chili, onion,
Chili,
mustard.
onion, mustard.
Hey.
Or there's others that do, and cheese, of course, chili cheese dogs, right? But like in the South, we do on our burgers, and I don't know if they do it on hot dogs. If there's a Southerner that can actually,
coleslaw?
do they do coleslaw on hot dogs? We do coleslaw on burgers here, with chili and mustard and onions and stuff like that. But like, I don't know if they do it on hot dogs. But I'm kind of all about putting it on a hot dog right now. We also have potato chips, which we have not broken into this yet. But are you all having hot dogs with us? What are you having? It's Friday. It's almost summer. I don't know if it's warm where you are, but it's kind of hot here by us in North Carolina. And truth be told, I don't know, some of the I'm cheating because this is supposed to be like cheddar cheese on this burger or hot dog, and all I have is American.
What?
All I have is American.
Yeah, give me a
At least
hot
it's
dog.
not Velveeta,
Speak.
right? Oh, but then there's others like we did. Remember we did that taste testing? Remember when we did that were you here for the grilled cheese and the peanut butter
No.
sandwiches?
I wish I was.
We did grilled cheese and
Really
peanut butter
sounds good.
sandwiches once, and
I miss.
one of the people were saying, one of our guests were saying, oh, you know what's kind of decadent and almost like way too rich is that some people put mayonnaise on their hot dogs. Mayonnaise. Have you ever put mayonnaise on a hot dog? Like that intrigued me, and I thought
That's a little
tonight.
crazy.
I thought to myself, I might actually want to put mayonnaise on my hot dog just to see what it tastes like now that I like boiled up literally like 4 packets of hot dogs because we've got all these kids here. But I mean, like I've done mayonnaise on French fries, right? You know, you do mayonnaise and ranch and all sorts of stuff. But I was thinking, wow, really? Mayonnaise on a hot dog? I like mayonnaise, so it didn't like disgust me.
Oh, sorry.
Oops.
Hey, it's my juice.
I don't know where your juice is. Please go to Daddy. I know where my juice is. Where's your juice, moms? Brian? Ashley? Elise? Where's your juice? What are you eating tonight for dinner?
Let's try the juice. Nope, let's try this.
That's mine.
Okay, so
Anyway,
I got
sorry, I'm dressing. I'm behind.
I've got
How's it
chili and onions and American cheese because I didn't have I have very little cheddar. And I'm putting some slaw on half of this dog.
Got my juice. Got my
I'm wondering what this is going to taste like with. We're supposed to be pairing this with. You can pair it with a red Zinfandel or a Shiraz. I mean, like I can't imagine like having something like this with a white wine just because the meat is so hearty and the chili is so hearty. Like I don't think it would. You couldn't really do this well with a white. This really is a red, like a Shiraz or a. Yeah, that's cheddar. You can cheddar, or you can take the rest of that American. There's something going
I
on.
love me some American. Let's do it.
But thank you to Melissa. She's a really good co-host.
I try.
Well, she's a really good co-host because not only does she show up,
You feed me. I was just telling her, she feeds me and gives me wine, and like I never have to bring anything. And I feel
Babysitter.
really bad.
no, she doesn't understand. Like, she, literally, if we have a babysitter, she chips in. If we have
I ate it.
food, she brings stuff.
I ate it.
If there's cleaning up to be done, she helps clean up.
I
She's
tried.
a really good like co-host
Apparently, I have to get another hot dog. Here's Star.
because she's really hungry and she had 2 bites of the other one.
Yeah. And
Now,
who wants to bet how many bites you'll have of this one?
do you store by your coleslaw? Like, is there a coleslaw that you're like, oh my gosh, I don't normally store by, but like I will buy like the Kentucky Fried Chicken coleslaw, or I will. Well, tell Daddy to address that. So, do you like? I will only eat Kentucky Fried Chicken coleslaw, or I will make my own, or I like the one that comes from my grocery store, or what have you. My sister makes this coleslaw where she puts like crushed pineapple in it, and when I saw her doing it, I'm like, that looks revolting, and it's actually quite delicious. Have you ever had coleslaw with pineapple in it? It was really good. Hey Joy, how are things in Florida? How are things down there? She's doing hurricane relief still.
Oh.
Hurricane Matthew, which was like
Oh.
2 years ago. She's still doing like all sorts of.
Really?
Let's see him missing this. Oh god, he's
Paper
napping.
towel. He's
He
cleaning.
jumped up on the counter, and I'm thinking, I don't know what he got off that counter.
Could be anything.
That could be anything. Okay, so I put coleslaw in half. I don't know. What do you think?
I forgot the coleslaw.
Well, there is no delicate way to eat a hot dog.
No, not really.
No matter how you slice it, it just looks phallic. It just looks
It's very true.
like eating a banana. Always looks pretty. Eating a hot dog, I'm along those same lines. As she's shoving that in her mouth.
It's very messy.
Are you a spitter or a swallower? I really did say when I came back from Disney like 2 days ago, not even 2 days ago, I gotta detox. I gotta eat healthy. I gotta stop eating all of this junk. Like literally less than 36 hours later, and I'm eating hot dogs and drinking wine. Well, that's right.
There's worse things.
There,
so-
there is.
I got the not sweet coleslaw. I feel like it'd be better with the sweet, like the super sweet.
It
This
tastes
is-
sweet to me.
This is classic. I don't know what the difference is.
I make my own coleslaw. But let me tell you, it's just a bag of coleslaw with like a bottle of dressing. Because then you can dress it up with vinegar or salt, pepper, garlic, or whatever you want. I'm no Martha Stewart by any means. I'm all about shortcuts. Now, semi-homemade. Okay, so which have you preferred?
Oh, the red, right? Do I get my red?
Yeah, I guess I have to give her some red, guys.
Did you save me some?
Yeah. Okay,
I'm
so
okay.
Joy, what are you doing? What are you drinking? What are you tonight? Notice I'm giving her a little bit more than I just kept pouring. I just kept pouring.
I'll put it in my sippy cup on the road.
So how was, her son had his first communion. How was that?
Well, we survived. And we survived. It was good. George,
I asked
go
her.
outside. Go outside.
Is she, it's stressful when you're going to her first communion.
Well, the thing about my son is he just doesn't get into church. It's more of, and he's all like, the whole church, like truly Wrigley the whole time. I'm just like, and then he'll go in the car and quietly sit and read a book. without moving. And I tell him, so you can do this, but you don't choose to do it in church.
Right.
For like the whole 8 years of your life. So we survived communion respectably.
85
Didn't
cents for a
embarrass
bag of
ourselves.
potatoes. So I'm
No,
glad.
thank you.
Now, so now is St. Peter's done with their first communion, or was that just for the CCDers?
They are.
My son goes to St. Peter's, and her kids go to another private school, but they attend church at St. Peter's.
Right.
And so
we go to,
her son
Math.
would have gone with the CCD class.
well, they actually mixed them.
Oh, they
So
did.
there's 2 dates. Ours is either April 21st or May 5th. So I guess that would have been. Tomorrow, I guess, is the last group. Tomorrow
Cinco de
morning.
Mayo.
Oh,
That's
what
what
a
it says.
day.
Holy Communion like Cinco de Mayo.
But I will say, so this I had to tell my son specifically. I think every parent did that the wine tastes gross, but you have to have it at first communion. So don't make a face, don't spit it out. When you do your first communion, the first time you have to drink the wine.
See, now when I did first communion,
So, but
and correct me if I'm wrong, others that are out there that are Catholic or Christian or whatever, but do that take the host and the wine at your services. We didn't take the wine until like confirmation. We took the hosts and the bread at second grade at our first communion, but we didn't do the wine until well after that.
we did it when I was little. Like I remember first communion. I remember the taste of the wine
Do you?
at first
See,
communion.
but the wine is like Boone's Hill,
I know it's pretty bad.
but it's not like like a mommy wine.
Yeah.
So I mean, it could be worse. But so now, how did he do?
He was fine. He didn't make a face. He didn't spit it out. And
Did you practice?
with giving him wine?
Yeah.
No, I did not. I drew the line there.
I remember as a kid that I wanted so badly to participate in the mass and have the bread. That when I was before I was in second grade, when it was time for first communion, that I would bring a potato chip with me to mass, and I would when everyone would go up to get their host, I would eat this potato chip.
Wow.
That was my thing.
You were dedicated.
No, I just kind of really wanted to be included in it because I thought it was really, I mean, you're like, what's the big deal? Like, why is everybody going up? Why can't I? Why can't I have it?
My middle son's like that. He actually, so, funny story. My oldest was in a wedding when he was 4 or 5. And he wore a suit. He was a ring bearer. And he wore a suit. And Jordan, who just walked by, loves to dress up. Oldest son hates to dress up. Jordan found this suit in the closet, randomly. Because he knew we'd been talking about First Communion and I was getting Austin's suit ready. And he got it and goes, Mommy, I can wear this for Saturday. And it fit him, and it was miraculous. So, it was awesome.
I think about that. I think about my son's first communion. I think about when my son was christened, and then in the South, when boys are christened, it's very different than when they're up north. Up north, we christen our boys or girls in these big gaudy gowns. In the South, they basically put them in a romper.
Yeah.
And the girls are the ones that are more likely in the gowns. Now, I think about I still have my mom, when my dad died, cleaned out all of our closets and stuff. She has my she has my first communion dress. And so I had that first communion dress that I wore when I was, in second grade. I could have my daughter wear that, or I could have my daughter wear something more traditional from where our family is from in Lithuania. But that's a couple of years away. But I digress. I think about now, what do our sons now wear to their first communion? Because when the boys went to first communion, when I was of age, they wore white suits.
Yep. That's old. That's the old way.
And girls always wore white dresses with lace veils. It was it was quite beautiful and very angelic. Very angelic.
Yeah. So the girls, they wear white. That's still the way to go. And then, so up north, because I have cousins that are getting first communion, they are wearing blue suits. I wasn't even gonna wear a suit, and my aunt started talking to my mom or put him in a suit. And my aunt started talking to my mom before the church told me what we had to do, and she's like, he's got to wear a suit. But I did not wear a suit. We did khakis and a blue coat.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what a lot of boys did. That was very appropriate. But a lot of girls, like one girl came in a limo, like dresses out like
A limo?
like a hoop skirt, like giant dresses, like some of these girls with like the, and I just, it was
Well, you know, in
beautiful.
some cultures, like First Communion is like the most important sacrament
Yeah.
of all sacraments, and so I can kind of get that why she may have pulled up in a limo or worn the big hoop skirts. It's kind of like, you know, cotillion, like for the Latinas and Latinos, cotillion is a really big deal.
I can't pull down my pants! Mom! I can't pull down my pants!
I can't make this stuff up. I really cannot make this stuff up. I can't pull down my pants. He's 6 years old. I can't pull down my pants.
No.
Let me go help pull down pants while she talks about stuff.
Anyway, Jess, First Communion, it was lovely. We survived. And I was more worried about because we all sat in a family pew, which I was super nervous about, because I have a 3, 5, and 7-year-old. So I was like, what's my 3-year-old going to do? How is she going to behave herself? Is my 5-year-old going to behave themselves? And they did, and they were fine, and it worked out just fine. So it was good. And we're done now, but we still have to go to Sunday school, unfortunately. So, yay for Sunday school. And she's back. How was
So
your
I was going to
experience?
help my son pull his pants down because he couldn't pull down his pants. And I realized that he's wearing 2 pairs of underwear.
That would be a reason.
So at some point this morning, when Daddy was in charge of putting my son into his uniform, which is nothing more than a polo and a pair of shorts, that he failed to notice that my child has put on 2 pairs of underpants. 2 pairs of underpants. And we're just finding out now at 5:43 that my son is wearing 2 pairs of underpants and he can't get his pants off.
Yep. Good times.
Mom, could you help me put down my pants?
Who's that? Who's that? Elise. First Communion was a huge deal in my church and family. We had huge parties. I know. Did you have a party?
Well,
Did you go to like a brunch?
We did like, so yeah, we did. My friend, my friend, who is my son's best friend. We just all our families hang out. Her family, like her in-laws, came from Mississippi. They're all from the South. In-laws, outlaws. I like to say outlaws. But anyways, both sets of family came. She had the godmother come, and they had a giant party and invited friends, and then we brought my parents, and his godmother lived in Virginia. So yeah, we had a big shindig, but we wouldn't have probably done that if she hadn't set it up and offered her house and been so generous. But you know, a lot of people
It's a
if they
big
had
deal.
family, it was a big deal. So
My daughter's walking in now with a lollipop. Don't know where she got it. And so is my son. Don't know where he got it. My husband's doing a kicking the crotch fantastic job of watching these 5 children. So I kind of look forward to the First Communion. And you know what? Don't discount and then there's where you go and you do your first confession or your penance.
that was the hardest part for us.
What?
Because I had not been. I didn't tell him, but I had not been in 10 years. I went when I got 10 years. I went when I got married because I had to, and then I didn't go after. This is like my house.
You see the camera jumping around?
Why does Donna have one?
Don't. No. Either play inside or outside.
You need to get them outside.
Come on, guys.
Austin, go outside now.
The ever authoritative outside guys.
Austin, Jordan, outside.
No,
No, you
And so I opened the
But one
umbrella.
question for you. It's too hot.
Go in the driveway. Right in.
Get out the water hose.
Get out the water and don't hang on the door.
What's this? What's this?
Don't hang on the
But-
door. Yeah. So
Anyways, what were we saying? Party.
we were talking about. I don't remember. No, we
Enzo,
were up north
why are
when
the
we
girls
went through
all listening. Come on.
First Communion. So it was just getting warm at that point. Here in the south, it's like literally 90 degrees today. 90 freaking degrees. Oh. Now, at least, are your kids going to go through any kind of First Communion? Anything like that?
Go.
First Communion was kind of a big deal.
Outside.
I think about there's 7 sacraments in the Catholic Church.
Nah.
That's a pretty big sacrament. It's a pretty big sacrament.
Oh.
No, I
Pretty
don't.
big deal. And I wonder why. And you wonder why in these like churches or these faiths or these sects, why they choose the ages. Like, why is it that in 2nd grade they're more ready to receive communion than they are in 3rd grade? Or why is it that some churches do confirmation when they're like 5th graders, and some churches do First Communion when they're like in high school?
I didn't know that could be different.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Totally be different.
I thought that was, they used to do confirmation younger, at my parents' generation, and then
How old were you when you were confirmed?
high school.
I was high school too.
Yeah.
My husband was like in 5th grade.
Yeah,
He hadn't even gone through puberty yet.
my mom was in, 5th grade. Good times. I think the shoes too
She's
small.
putting on rain boots right now.
They're too small.
Maybe
I have
too
to
small, or maybe she's wearing 2 pairs of socks. Like my son wearing 2 pairs of underwear. So, summer's coming. What are you doing in the summer?
Speech therapy.
Here, tutoring! Tutoring! Because my son knows none of the sight words and we think that there's an issue.
So we'll be splitting our time between our appointments here and
From the beach. We'll be driving
And
back and
Greenville.
forth from the beach so that we can do speech therapy and tutoring.
So fun.
More
It's gonna
fun
be
than
great.
you can imagine.
On or off?
Okay.
Yeah.
So, wine pairing. Which did you like more?
So with the chili, the
The
Zinfandel.
Zinfandel. The
Sorry,
red
I'm not a
Zinfandel.
wine person, so I have to read the labels.
The red Zinfandel. And like, this is kind of hard to miss. Can you see this? Is probably backwards on you, but it
Zinfandel.
literally says Zinfandel.
They don't fit.
So
we gotta
yes. Zinfandel, red.
Anyway, so the chili brings, it's good for the Zinfandel.
It's a good, robust, but they can do a
Yeah.
Shiraz too if you don't have
Yeah.
a Zinfandel in your fridge.
But when it's hot, I prefer
The crisp,
the crispness
cool,
and the
the
sauerkraut one.
the sweetness of, like we said, of the rosé.
Rosé, yeah, that's
Or
what
you
it's
could probably even pull off a white Zinfandel.
Yeah.
Pairs well with the acidity of like the mustard and the sauerkraut
I'd say.
of
I
the
agree.
of the New York style hot dog. Who do we have here? Elise. I'm making my kids wait until they're older. I want them to have
Oh.
a firmer understanding.
Huh.
I think that's smart. Can you do that? Can you wait till they're older?
Yeah.
Or like does the Catholic Church kind of say, you know
No.
what? By 2nd grade, you're in or you're out.
You can wait.
Can you wait?
You can. Well, just think of the people who aren't Catholic, and then maybe their
Oh, they
families
convert?
convert Catholic later on. I mean, all the kids have to go through that.
How do we get into this deep philosophical religious conversation over frickin' chili dogs? I feel bad about this. I kind of feel bad. Like, is this like sacrilegious that we're having this conversation over like chili dogs and wine?
Jesus drank wine.
Jesus drank wine. Jesus drank wine. It's a holy thing. Okay, Carrie, mine was 15-ish.
First communion?
That did their first communion, Carrie? Really? Really? Why did you decide to wait until they were 15-ish? Was that something that you chose, or was it something that your child chose? Or maybe your partner chose? Or was it... Now, was this? I don't mean to be like insensitive or too personal, but Carrie, is this your biological child, or was it something a child that you adopted by marriage kind of thing. Because I feel like a lot of my friends like got married into families that were already established. And that's why like I have my friends that are like my age and they have like 20-year-old kids. And I'm like, dang, mine's 2, right?
Wow.
Who's that? Katie Swanson. Oh, a little bit of both. Good job. I get it. There's a little bit of both. It's, all that matters is that they did it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Katie, how are you? I miss Katie so much. She's like my very best friend from high school / I don't know, grade school / forever. I love her. Like, she's my very best friend ever. And it was funny. One night we were talking on, it was Friday night, and like our husbands were away. And the two of us were like drinking, and she was driving in a car, and I was like watching TV, and it was like 9 o'clock at night on Friday night, and the two of us were just talking for like an hour. And I was like, you know what? This is the best date night ever. Like, best date night ever is having one of those like old school conversations with your bestie, talking about just good stuff, and like it was awesome. Like, it's hard when your like best friends are far away. Where's like your best friend? Is your best friend local?
Well, like I have a good friends locally, but they're not my like childhood friends. They're all in Virginia, and that was my my best, one of my best childhood friends that came for the first communion, which was really great. But it's hard when she has a child, and it just, I mean, we still, obviously it's like being in high school again, but you
I know, you
can't-
feel like young again.
I know, it's great, but it's different because then you have to go take care of your kid. And
Well, our
So-
kids were asleep, and it was like a Friday night, and it was probably 8 or 9 o'clock at night. We were talking, and it was just like this beautiful conversation. Do you remember like when you were dating boys? Well, you were dating boys, which meant that you were talking to them on the telephone, or you were going to the mall. Remember that? It was like truly a date night like that. It was like, oh gosh, I haven't had a conversation like this with a friend in like 20 years. What was that? Has to do with child development, concrete, abstract thinking. I agree.
I would agree.
I agree.
Correct. So I feel like confirmation
Confirmation is
when you are like
that's
in the
a
church.
big deal.
That's a
That's-
big deal. So I feel like it's okay for First Communion that they don't grasp it yet.
Because confirmation is when you literally, for those that are not Catholic or Christians do it too. Like confirmation is when you, as an adult, which is usually confirmation is usually anywhere from 13 to 16 years old. You say, I am dedicating myself to my church, to my faith, to the Catholic Church, to the Methodist Church, to the Lutheran Church, forever and ever, amen. And that's a big deal. You're confirming your faith. And to be doing that at a young age, like, 5th grade, I feel like that's not really a
I wouldn't
choice.
have that.
That's not really a choice,
No.
is it?
First Communion, I feel it's kind of the first step. I mean, it's important. I'm sorry if people are offended, but it is important, but it's kind of the first hurdle.
Right, because the only sacrament that you get before that is you have your baptism,
Right.
and then you have your first communion, and then you have your penance, or your acts of contrition.
Well, that was before. You had to do your first contrition
Is it before first communion?
before First Communion. So you do that before.
I really do think I'm a good Catholic, but like I feel bad that like I'm really bad with these sacraments.
It's okay. I didn't know until, like, I actually had to start learning when he started going to Sunday school because the school wasn't the benchmark to teach him the religion anymore.
And I have like a ton of like Jewish friends and like other friends from other faith, and I think that it's amazing to hear about their traditions and how they do it and when they do it. It's pretty amazing. But there's one, this is the last thing I'm going to talk about today. I have a really hard time trying to explain to my child or my children that, because as a Catholic you say, unless you believe in Jesus Christ and God the Father and the Trinity, the Father, Son, Holy Spirit,
You'll go to heaven.
that you'll go to heaven. But if you don't, you won't go to heaven. So how do you say to your son or your daughter, well, your Jewish friend isn't going to heaven,
Well, did you?
or your Hindu friend isn't going to heaven? I
did
just
you
have a
hear-
really hard time.
did you
Did the
hear-
Pope come out with something?
The Pope? Yeah. So this.
I love our Pope.
What? I don't know how I know this. Why do I know this? I'm so
Chips
much
and
less
chili.
Catholic than you.
Chips and chili.
No, like the Pope legit. There was a kid who was sad
Yes, because his
Because
father
his
was
father
not
died
a
and he's
devout
not-
Catholic.
But the Pope basically was like, well, because your father taught you and took you to church, it makes him like a good person in God's
That was
eyes.
like the whole debate. Was that this
So-
like they had this audience with the Pope, and this young kid who's probably 6 or 7 years old went to the Pope and was like crying, saying like, "My dad has died, and I'm really afraid he's going to go to hell because he was not a proclaimed Catholic or Christian."
Yeah.
However, his father mandated or made
Because the
sure that
word
his
was-
children were raised in the Catholic faith
And
and went to the
baptized.
Catholic school and they were baptized and all of that kind of stuff in
Right.
the church. And so the Pope basically kind of whispered in his ear, "Your dad may not have believed or said that he believed, but he thought enough to
To guide you.
to guide you,
basically.
and that's what a Catholic father is supposed to do."
Yeah.
And it was beautiful.
Yeah.
Like I think of all the popes ever, he's my favorite pope.
Yeah. But I
He
mean,
really is.
what would you say about like a Jewish person? Because, I mean,
Well, they don't.
It's true.
They don't, I know, and it's so hard. It's like
it's hard.
I really don't believe that our God, our Catholic God, is a vengeful God or that would turn his back on anybody. On anybody. She doesn't believe it either. She didn't believe it either. She's saying,
Like dogs.
God loves everybody. God loves everybody.
Even dogs.
Even dogs. And you know what? Wine.
Hot.
They drink lots of wine in the Bible.
Hot, Mommy. I want to be in a state.
Okay.
It's hot.
It's hot.
They're hungry. They're in and out of this house.
Don't
Some
drink
with
that.
or without underpants. Some with 2 pairs of underpants. They probably
That's
each drank
nice.
about 3 juice boxes.
Yeah.
Took 2 bites of their hot dogs.
Happy Friday.
But happy Friday. But they did not enjoy the hot dogs that we did, nor did they enjoy they had juice boxes. They didn't have mommy juices. So I think all in all, despite the craziness that's been happening in this house, it's pretty good wine taste. I think I might continue. You know what? I'm kind of digging on the chips and the chili.
Yeah.
But I will say too that like with the chili dog, I'm not like, oh, she was chopping onions earlier and I was going, you don't need to chop onions. But I feel like the more red onions made it better.
Yeah,
Like
I think so.
heavier red onions on the chili dog was the way to go.
I'm usually not a big onion person. Like
I'm
raw
not
onion
either. I'm
person
not either. I'm totally not either. But that kind of helped make it.
Yep.
Yeah. And would you do the coleslaw on the dog, or would you go straight?
I guess it tastes good, but I think it makes the bun soggy. Yep. Sorry.
She's anti-soggy cereal. She's anti-soggy bun.
Like soggy.
We didn't steam the
You
buns.
gotta have a good stir.
Gotta have a good sturdy bun for that sausage. It's gotta be a good fit. See, we get funnier as the night progresses, but
I knew that would come out at some point.
I know. How can you not?
How can you not make a hot dog
For a
joke?
wine tasting called Wieners and Wine. I think that we did pretty good going an hour without discussing a piece.
There's no more drinks. No more drinks.
You know, I'm thinking this might be time to send the kids out for ice cream. Ice cream truck. Do you remember? She sent me this like text the other day. She's like, "Oh, it's a funny text. It was a joke about how to get the kids to like get out of the house and play or be quiet or whatever. You
Yes.
play the ice cream truck, song. Do you remember the ice cream truck? I remember growing up and like we knew at like a certain time of day on the weekdays you would like hear the truck and you would run out there because that was the only way we really got ice cream with like your change, your spare change, and you would get your ice cream bars and stuff. I know that like when I haven't heard an ice cream truck here in Greenville for a while.
We get the Kona ice truck, but it's
Don't
not
even
the
go.
same.
The Kona ice
do
truck is
that.
like shaved ice, and we're talking like we want the like torpedo and the drumsticks and the like popsicles and the ice cream
Yeah.
cones with the chocolate filling,
Yeah.
all of that stuff from the ice cream truck. Like, yeah, I miss that. But like, I wonder if that has something to do with just like people being skittish about pedophiles and like craziness.
Yeah.
Or security
Maybe.
issues. I don't know, but like I miss that, like the good old days of the ice cream truck. So
Yep.
wherever you are, whatever you're doing tonight, we highly recommend the hot dogs and wine. Give me a challenge, and I will meet it wholeheartely with trying to pair whatever craziness you have with the wine. Go out, find yourself an ice cream truck, or head out to your local grocery store and just buy, a
case.
quart or whatever. They have this new ice cream now. There's this like, what is it? I don't know what it is, but it's like 300 calories for a whole pint.
Really?
Yeah, and I was like, really? Like 300?
No.
But there's got to be like a gazillion
What
carbs
did they
in it.
put in it?
And then that's the thing. When they like eliminate the fat or they eliminate the calories, they up the sugar content. So it's like,
Yeah.
is it really that much more healthy? I don't know, but 300 calories for a whole pint? I'm down with
It's
it.
not bad.
I know. We should do a wine tasting with ice cream. I'll do that next. We'll do a wine tasting with ice cream at some point. So here's to you. Here's to you, Mama.
Cheers. Thank
We
you
survived another week. I don't know if we really survived another week because I'm like really in the midst of
for not surviving. There's a joke to me.
a foo bar. So enjoy your week.